she'll make sure you're plenty drunk. And if you try to get away, she'll throw you in her trunk.
Hi, I'm Al Snow, former WWE superstar, and you're listening to Hair Roll Wrestling Talk, as opposed to Hairball Wrestling Talk.
This is Gangrel, and you're banging to Hair Roll Wrestling Talk. Check it out. Get some 24/7.
Talk number 15. There's no special introduction today, but we are proudly coming to you from the HWT network. It's our very first podcast from our network. We will be providing on Fridays the Reality of Wrestling report. That will be coming out every Friday to follow the actual episodes that are coming on YouTube and through TV in Texas. I'm Jacob Harrell.
And I'm Jonathan Harrell. We got back from this weekend from Heroes and Legends 4, which was an awesome event. We'll be talking more about that, even some special interviews from that next week. So make sure you listen to get the whole recap on that. But we're going to get right into our headlines, Jacob. We had another Monday Night Raw right before the coming up pay-per-view. A lot of we had Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins preview for the match coming up, which was kind of weird. But just about everybody that's in the pay-per-view we saw. What was your take on Raw?
Oh, it was kind of weird. They gave a lot of stuff for free. They gave the Roman Reigns for free. They gave a little preview, but not really a preview, I guess, of John Cena and Brock Lesnar. That's an interesting story because they're flirting with the dark side and they're flirting with the Cena, but that's really the only angle they can go with this, because what other story can they tell with it without making Cena look like a jobber, basically?
And this was a rarity for me. I actually watched this Raw in its entirety. We were watching some cousins, younger age group, and I'm watching this. Normally, I'm fast forward and I'm catching the gist of it, most of it, and watched the whole entire thing. And they had the John Cena holding Heyman against his will, and which we'll talk about later. But I'm like, oh my, are you serious? This is. I'm not kind of getting into this, but the kids, they were like, "Oh man, what if he punches him? What if the guy doesn't show up?" And I'm like, and they're not even big wrestling fans. And I think after watching that and watching a little Slam City, they were hooked. They were like, "Oh, we got to watch this pay-per-view. We got to check this out."
Right, and that's the targeted demographics that they're going for. Khali, it was amazing for him just to stand up and talk with Paul Heyman for 2 seconds. The guy was trending on Twitter. I mean, and that was amazing. So they had matches with Bray Wyatt and Big Show, correct?
Yep.
And what do you think of that match?
I don't know. It looks like they're going to be moving, from what we've heard, Big Show into a title picture. And I'm not a huge Big Show fan. I was a huge Giant fan, but when it comes to later on and where he's at now, I'm not a huge Big Show fan. So I'll just be curious to see where they kind of go.
News stories have appeared that WWE, most notably Vince McMahon, wanted to stage the John Cena and Paul Heyman fight at halftime of Monday Night Football to draw in crowds. But sadly, it didn't work. Raw's ratings were solid, but the lowest it's been since last year, and netted a 3.9 million views. But Monday Night Football drew 13.4 million views. Is WWE growing more and more concerned about this competition?
I don't know. I mean, it's nothing new. It's been there, for the longest time. I mean, they've had Monday Night Football forever, and I think at the same time, it's on cable. Used to, it wasn't on. It was on ABC, I think. So I mean, like I said, it's nothing new. I don't know why all of a sudden they would be making more of a concern about it now than in the past. But what's your take on it, Jacob?
I think a lot of the concern is growing from the money. And with the TV deals not growing as much money, it was cut, it was doubled, not tripled like they thought. Vince losing all that money in 2 days. It's something that he's becoming kind of antsy in his pants that he needs to get as much money as possible. And they to me, it seems like they're more focused on, okay, let's outperform Monday Night Football, or they're almost doing what WCW did with them rather than just building their own quality and making it better.
And that's the thing. I mean, if you are so concerned about what other people are putting on Monday night, why not just move? I mean, why not, put it on Tuesday night? I mean, what do you watch on Tuesday night? I mean, you can't even. I mean, I know you don't watch a lot of live TV, but most people probably couldn't even name some of the things that come on Tuesday nights.
Main event comes on Tuesday. That's something that you would have to. Now, to go off this real quick, should they be more focused on Raw or the network in general?
Um, Man, I think I think you got to go with Raw just because I think they're getting a ton of money through them. But then outside of that, I would say scrap everything else, put it on the network, and just have one show Raw where you go big and go, try to knock it out of the park every week. Now, Night of Champions, we pretty much got all the matches set for the next pay-per-view, which is this Sunday. I know we'll be discussing it later on with some special guest Jacob, but what are some of the matches that you're looking forward to?
With that, the Divas match, I'm actually excited about it. I know most people aren't because the story has not been built up correctly, but I love Paige. I love the angle that she's always had with AJ. It'll be interesting seeing how Nikki getting thrown in will act. Other than that, I mean, we've seen Ziggler and Miz. We've seen them on SmackDown main events. We've obviously seen on Raw Seth and Roman go at it. So really, it's kind of blurred that we've seen a lot of it. Is there anything that stands out for you though?
I'm kind of curious to see where they're going to go with the John Cena and Brock Lesnar. I mean, I can't see them putting the exact same match on again. But then at the same time, it was such a one-sided match that if Cena comes out and looks and they just have a normal match, then it kind of looks silly for them to do what they did last month. So you got that. I guess other than that, I'm looking forward to the Rollins and Reigns match just because those the guys from the Shield, man. I mean, they've been just can't miss when it comes to big matches and the pay-per-views lately.
And it'll be interesting to see the third member, Dean Ambrose, if he might have a possible cameo or appearance during Night of Champions also.
And then you've got every title on display, really. Are you kind of bummed that you're not going to see the Usos and the Wyatts again?
Yeah. Do you think possibly every title will stay and we will not have a title switch over?
Um, I'm gonna say no. I've got actually, and I'll tell you about them later on. I've actually got two that I think are gonna switch.
Oh, nice. Stone Cold's podcast, the Stone Cold Steve Austin Show, got its first plug on Raw ever last Monday, and the WWE is now ordering new Stone Cold Steve Austin t-shirts to be coming for the WWE shop. Are these plugs with Austin mean that he might be coming back sooner than we thought?
I don't know if he'll be coming back sooner. I think that Stone Cold's just a huge name from an era that they're talking about right now, and it's almost like The Rock. Anytime you bring The Rock in, the numbers are going to, boost. And so, hey, let's talk about Steve Austin. Those numbers are going to boost. We talked about Stone Cold a couple weeks ago and just had his name in the title, and seeing that boosted even numbers for our show. So I think that anything that they can do, get associated with Stone Cold, I think is going to help them and move them in the right direction.
Yeah, and I see a lot more of this as just revenue. It's all about the money. So these people that are on Legends deals, like the HBKs, but more notably The Rock, the Stone Colds, who are movie stars, they're bona fide. Just everything they do is money to get them to, hey, let's plug them in a little bit more. Let's use them more, I guess, wisely and try to make more money off of them. Now, would you see if The Rock came out with a brand new shirt, even though he's not wrestling like they're doing with Stone Cold, would you look into buying that shirt?
See, that's the thing. I don't know if I would actually go out and buy it. It would have to be relevant to when he was actually wrestling. And so I don't think I would go out and buy a shirt that maybe has The Rock's picture on it, or something like when they were doing the some of the more recent ones. I didn't care for him, and I got a Rock shirt because it was back when I enjoyed watching him wrestle. So
Speaking of shirts, we're going to go off this topic here. The bell's going to ring. Do you regret buying a Bo Dallas t-shirt?
I do not regret buying a Bo Dallas. I am still excited about my Bo Dallas t-shirt. I've actually worn it more than my Daniel Bryant one, which I'm really upset about because I was so pumped when I got that from a gift from the princess, first WWE shirt that I've ever had, and haven't seen him forever.
That's really the first WWE shirt you've
First
ever got?
WWE. I had a Goldberg.
Holy crap.
I had
Yeah.
Goldberg, which and I had I can't remember if I had anything else. I know I had a Goldberg one, but that's back in WCW days, so never had the WWE shirts. Now we have some more news about the upcoming 2K video game WWE 2K-15. Recently, we had the full list of achievements that you can accumulate on the game, and it's been leaked out. Not a whole lot of surprises, but it did mention some of the NXT. Would you be, excited to create a character on there, Jacob, where you can actually start in NXT and work your way up?
I think that's kind of cool. It's kind of the Madden superstar, and obviously you're working with EA Sports, if I'm correct, right?
2K,
They're working
2K.
2K. I'm sorry. Take that back, WWE. That's really rude for 2K and EA. But yeah, I think that's a great angle. You can build your superstar from a nobody to a somebody. That would last me a couple weeks. For me, I've always been more interested in the story mode and doing the old school SmackDown versus Raws where you can be a superstar and you do different story modes with those superstars. Would you rather have that, or would you rather have the superstar mode?
See, and I've actually, the most recent 2K game I've played was an NBA one, and I actually enjoyed creating my own character and working through the draft and getting picked on a team, and so I enjoy doing that. But I think in a general, I'm almost excited for just about all of these achievements, and even like stupid stuff like defeat, Undertaker with a creative character in WrestleMania, and some of these things. I'm like, man, I'm gonna be playing this game a lot.
Is there some most ridiculous kind of?
I'm trying to think. They had one where you can use an NXT character to defeat John Cena, and they call it like a takeover. I'm trying to think of some other ones just off the top of my head. A lot of them are based on the showcases where John Cena versus CM Punk, or things like that.
Now, just to keep everyone informed, there are rumors that next year's video game will be pushed back its production time. That are just rumors. Once we get that confirmed, we will bring that out. But I didn't want to bring that up until we get it confirmed. Somebody call Brodus Clay's mama because her boy is working again. Photos have surfaced of Brodus Clay at Impact Wrestling for TNA. Do you think there should a lot more of these cut WWE stars on their way to TNA soon?
I could see it. You look at, okay, where these guys are wrestlers, they're professional wrestlers. When you are no longer at, the top company, where do you go? You can, try to do everything on your own. And if it works for you, I'm sure that a lot of them prefer that if they can make a living out of it. But then, if you would rather have work for somebody else and do that and be able to provide, I completely understand, him signing or being with the TNA and going that route as well.
And with that, he can still perform his other shows outside TNA. TNA allows that. It'll be interesting to see because how they use him. Also, he's not going to come out and dance with a disco ball. I can guarantee you that because that's WWE's character. But I don't know. You have some great talent that was cut recently, but it seems like Brodus Clay is the first one really to go to a major promotion to do this. So it'll be interesting over the next year or so to see where some of these people end up. I mean, you never know if Heath Slater might be leaving and you have a 3MB reunion somewhere.
And see, that's the thing with Brodus Clay, though. You know him from dancing and from the WWE. Does it take away if you change that character and make him more serious, or something in that effect? Does that all of a sudden, that's not Brodus Clay? That's not who you're tuning in to see? Could you see that possibility?
No, I honestly, he came to WWE as a monster heel, and then they changed his persona to the Funkadactyl, Funkasaurus, the only living, breathing Funkadactyl kind of stuff. And I think they'll bring him because it's easier to bring someone in as a heel than it is a face. I would like to see that angle and how they portray him.
Now, we actually have some good news coming out of Bad News Barrett. In a recent interview, he stated that he looks to return in December, and also says that if he gets the chance, he would like to go right after Jack Swagger, who happened to be the one that injured him months ago. Now, December puts him right before the Rumble. Do you want them to wait to the Rumble, Jacob, or would you rather, just throw him out there when it gets as soon as he's available, and maybe feud with Swagger or go back after his Intercontinental Championship?
I'm afraid they are going to put him in the Intercontinental Championship run again. I wanted to wait. Royal Rumble has to be that platform. If you're within 2 or 3 months of the Royal Rumble, just wait. Please wait, because no one knows the orders. There's no dirt sheets on. They might be able to tell you Bad News Barrett is returning soon, but there usually is never a confirmation of who's going to be in the Rumble. So I say wait for the Rumble, use it for the network, promote the Rumble rather than his return, and let that be his kind of return to the WWE.
Now, what do you think of this, Jacob? You're counting down. You got 28, 29. You're getting ready for the 30th guy, and whose music plays? Batista. Are you excited? No. No. So, think of this. You 29, Bad News Barrett comes out. And then 30, Daniel Bryant comes out. How awesome of two returns would that be?
I would be so jacked. I'd be wanting to punch the baby again, or a tree, I should say. But I would want to see the Damian Sandow come out. Like I said before, with Daniel Bryan's music, that would be golden for the WWE. But yeah, I think you probably agree. Rumble rather than come as soon as possible, correct?
Yeah, I would agree. Just because you could throw him in with Swagger, you could throw him in with the Intercontinental Championship match, but I think that throwing him in the Rumble, that's almost a free-for-all to see how the fans react. See, maybe this can get him a boost that he wasn't getting before when he had the Intercontinental Championship.
And then did we agree that for Daniel Bryan, for him, it's probably best to come back whenever he can rather than hold off for a longer period of time?
See, I would think I would go the same way.
Same way?
I would say any wrestler that is injured for even, say, a couple months, regardless of when it is in the year, if you can hold them out, even if he's fine for 4 months, 5 months, throw him in at the Rumble and surprise appearance.
Recently, NXT stars who have bumped up to the main stage, we should say, or the WWE, haven't had their great share of success besides the Shield. Well, one person is kind of coming up in the rankings, the bunny for Adam Rose. He's kind of getting more push than Adam Rose himself. The bunny last week super kicked Heath Slater and did a body splash to Titus O'Neil of the Slater Gator. Rumor is that Sami Zayn is the bunny. Is this a great way for Sami Zayn to enter the WWE?
As long as Adam Rose is getting a lot of TV time, I mean, if you all of a sudden not have Adam Rose on TV, I mean, he for a while he was doing some pay-per-view pre-matches and some bigger things, and then all of a sudden now it's moving farther back in the card on Raw. But you can't just have the bunny in the background of a Sonic commercial and say, "Oh man, that's Sammy in there." You've got to have him out. You got to have him front and center, and maybe his hat will fall off, or his headgear will fall off in one of these moves or something, and just kind of give it away.
See, and it'll be interesting to me when he takes off the mask and they say it is Sami Zayn or someone else from NXT. Where do you go from there? Do you feud with Adam Rose? Do you keep him as a tag team, or do you go your own separate way? I'm hoping it's his own separate way, but Sami Zayn hasn't won the NXT title yet, or at least is not the current holder. So that's kind of interesting because usually they bring him up through the rankings of the champion. Do you see the room for NXT people to come up, or is there no room for him right now?
It is very crowded, and I think if you do bring him up now, you've got one shot, and Fandango can show that, Adam Rose can show that. You've got to win over in a hurry, and if not, then you're gonna, you're going to be on the WWE, but you're just going to be floating around in no man's land.
Right, and we can name a lot more people that are not being pushed right now that came up from NXT, like the Big E's, like Bo Dallas is kind of in a slump. So we can name a lot more of them that have been that way rather than success stories.
Well, the WWE is adding more content to its network, just like us. And reports have been that they will be releasing Hulk Hogan's Rock and Roll Wrestling cartoon show. Will this be something, Jacob, that you'll be checking out, or are you just going to kind of stick with the more modern Slam City?
Yeah, I think that's awesome to me to check out. I mean, wonder if Hulk Hogan's actual voice. We were too. Actually, I don't even think we were born yet when this came out, so you might have been. But yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see this. Now, I don't know if you remember this, but John Cena started a reality show before he was the big name John Cena, where they did paintballing, and it was actually a WWE production. Do you remember this?
I do not remember this.
Okay, well, anybody that does remember this, tweet this. They actually got caught because they actually rigged it to someone to win, and it became a big disaster. But that's something I'd like to see on there. But there's little things I saw on the internet, like WWE on Family Feud. They obviously don't own the rights to the pay them on, I'm sure. So you think more and more of these little things will start popping up as time goes on?
I think so. Just really, I think they're going to want to try to have this huge encyclopedia of everything that ever happened with their brand. And so, oh, we did that. Okay, let's put that on here, and let's grab this. I was reading as well. They're going to be adding, I believe, some kind of Saturday morning wrestling show that they had early on as well, and that'll be another episodes that they'll have. And so, eventually, you're going to run out of stuff, and So I look forward to the new stuff as well, but they're almost getting to the point where there's so much stuff on there that it's kind of hard to keep up with. Like I said, now I'm 2 countdowns behind and a Monday Night War behind, and if I don't watch it here soon, they're going to add even more.
Right, and with that, to go basically off that, if you can't keep up with everything, you said you get behind. Well, I would like to see Bobby the Brain Heenan, his talk show, to come on there. That's something I was thinking, or maybe some Piper Pitts. You could do segments from shows and put them on there also.
Now, see, you would actually against it though, because you're thinking that they should actually take stuff off and then put stuff on and keep it kind of fresh. But if they do that, you're not going to be able to watch some of this stuff whenever you want to.
That's true. That's true. Our next guest is an internet WWE YouTube sensation. He's been all over the internet talking about his new video that came out. It's called A 2-Year-Old Who Names 20 WWE Theme Songs in 2 Minutes. It stars a 2-year-old named Beckett and his father, Evan Wecksell. Thank you for coming on the show, Evan.
Not a problem. This is awesome.
All right. So tell us a little bit about the video before we get started. How did it develop and kind of the reaction after that?
Sure, definitely. I mean, we watch WWE. We have the network for $9.99 a month. But it was kind of father-son time. He just gradually was picking up whose music matched with who, and so I just kind of like thought, let's just sit him down in front of the computer and get on iTunes and play some songs, and it went well. We actually probably filmed it weeks before it was uploaded because I had a consideration on Alberto Del Rio being included in it. But I was like, you know what? He does a great Del Rio, so I'm just going to throw it up there and see if it sticks.
Yeah, I think that was probably one of my favorite ones that he had on there, that and John Cena.
Definitely, yeah. Definitely people got the Justin Roberts impression in his future, so that was fun.
Now, how did you kind of find out about it? Was it just, like you said, you're watching a lot of wrestling and, you just started playing some music one day and...
he started talking. When he started talking, a lot of his first words, some kids learn the alphabet. He learns themes. So he learns the alphabet also. But it was natural. He just started sponging it up. So I couldn't, if he watches it, he's going to get it. And I think he was really confused because I showed him NXT Arrival a week ago and you had Cesaro coming out to Jack Swagger's music. So I think that threw him off.
Yeah.
But yeah, he just he can pick up most anything. If they're on television, he can get them in a couple weeks or the week of.
Now I was impressed when he did Undertaker's. He did the yes. That blew my mind because you talk about the network. Do you watch some of the older maybe Attitude Era with him, or is that you kind of hold that off because of the violence?
I don't know. I don't go out of my way to show him that kind of stuff. I think he actually goes on YouTube himself on his iPad, and he'll just find like random matches from he could be like Rey Mysterio versus Undertaker, or it could be a match in Spanish. The kid can navigate iPad better than half my family. So it's kind of nuts and he knows every look of the Undertaker. So if you showed him the Undertaker, with short hair, with American Badass, he'd be able to recognize it.
Yeah.
And,
all right. Would we be able to try to see if Beckett can do the same thing for us? We have the 5 songs. So.
Yeah. Let's play it and we'll see. So Beckett, they're gonna play you music. They're gonna play you music, Beckett. He's watching Curious George. He'll probably just chime in out of nowhere.
All right,
okay.
We'll see how it goes.
Woo! Said Bowie. What's that? Say it louder. He did get it.
Okay.
He can even do the thumbs over his head. Yes, Triple H.
Yeah, I heard that one.
Yeah, he doesn't do the oh yes all the time. No, it's lightning in a bottle sometimes.
How'd he do on that?
He got it.
You got it? All right.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get into a little bit of the aftermath of the popularity. Did it boom right away, or did it take a couple of days until maybe the Chris Jericho tweet happened for it to really take off?
Yeah, what happened was once I kind of mentioned it to some people I knew, and it maybe had 2,000 views after 3 days, so it was doing kind of okay. But then Stephanie retweeted it. Then you had WWE wrote their own post about him. So they wrote about him, and then they put it, on their Twitter, which has 4 million followers, and their Facebook has 22 million likes, and all of a sudden we were getting I'd give up my career for a few days and just deal with all his comments on the video and retweets and favorites and all that. And then the next day, Vince McMahon writes his own tweet about it. And it's insane. It was insane. I mean, Sasha Banks retweeted it, and, Jericho replied. And it was just kind of funny. It's fun, because that kind of thing, it's temporary. You kind of ride the wave and just see what you can get out of it.
Now, when you were getting these updates, did you ever think that these were the actual guys? We get follows from John Cena and things like that, and I'm like, oh, check that out, and of course you click on it, and it's some 400-pound guy or something like that.
Yeah, I know. My wife is gullible in that regard. She's like, oh my God, Triple H is following us. I'm like, no, that's Triple H from India. So not really. But we've had the WWE, like their music group is a fan. They follow. Talk is Jericho's following that. I mean, it helped my Twitter followers. He has his own Facebook page. So if you go to BeckettSage.com, it goes right to his Facebook page. He went from maybe 300 likes from our friends up to 900. And I'd say half of them are from the Middle East or India. So he's internationally known. We're getting comments in Arabic, and we're trying to translate them on Google Translate. We're getting comments in Arabic and German and Bulgarian and Spanish, and it was kind of funny.
Now, when did WWE contact you over this?
It was kind of I kind of knew who to reach, but they also had to reach back. So it just worked out where I was kind of in touch with them, and we kind of set up a little, PR visit, and they gave us a tour around headquarters, and we were able to film a second video with them in their production studio in Stamford, and that's has about had as many views as this one. So that was great. And then we went on Sam Roberts with SiriusXM the day before, and he tested him as well, and he came through with flying colors. So it was just crazy. Just they get WWE. They treated us great. I mean, they treated him like he was like Justin Bieber for 3 hours, except he's likable. So yeah, it was fun. He did great.
Now we've got 5 songs for you as well, and be curious to see if you could maybe name some of these songs if you're up to that.
They're not going to be easy by any means. We made it rough, so
okay.
We'll
it's gonna be Shockmaster or something.
We're gonna try to start out slow, and then we'll see what we can get.
Okay. Shawn Michaels.
Okay.
Could you sing the whole song?
Before he's hoarse or after his. I have no idea. I want to say Gangrel as a guess, but
it's part of Gang. It's his group. We'll count it. It's the Brutes, yeah.
Yeah, I was out of wrestling during the Attitude Era. Yeah, I got into it towards the end of it. It was just kind of weird timing for me.
Well, we'll give you one more here. This will probably go a little bit farther back for you, but see if there's any shot on this one.
Okay.
You got any guess on that one?
Yeah, Ravishing Recruit.
There you go.
There you go. I thought that was going to stump you.
Yeah, I was in it. I'm older than you guys think.
Well, all of this, is definitely got to be good for your upcoming comedy tour, the Good Kind of Viral.
Yes, the Good Kind of Viral tour. Yeah, not the kind that gets you to student health office. So,
and I've actually been looking at a lot of your videos that you have on there, and you do a lot of musical stuff. I've also really enjoyed the wrestling moves with Beckett as well. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's something I want to get going again. I mean, it was such poor quality when we did those, but we've had such spillover from the initial video where they'll go back and they'll watch him do Daniel Bryan stuff for 40 seconds. And that video, 5,000 views from nothing. And then there's the Try This at Home toddler's guide.
Yeah.
I actually want to do an episode where he does the move on me. He can do Rob Van Dam 5-star frog splashes till forever.
On top of the couch, or where's he jumping from?
Well, he'll jump from anywhere. It's kind of scary, actually. Like, as soon as he sees me, if it's like a flight of stairs, he'll just take off from the top of the stairs, and I have to like be aware that he just doesn't go tumbling down.
Now, what do you have? What do you have going on your tour? Is it kind of a lot of musical stuff, or is it stand up? A little mix of both.
Yeah, I'm kind of like an Adam Sandler, Stephen Lynch type. So I have the guitar on me at all times, but it's not necessarily all songs. But yeah, it's fun. I mean, I interact with the students. I've done hundreds of colleges. 40. I've been to 45 states. I've had my shows in the Indianapolis area near you guys. I've done Marion College and IU a few times and Purdue. So
Now, some of your upcoming dates, can you give us a little bit of that so we can promote those?
yeah, Saturday I'm at Cornell. I'm going back to the Ivy League, and then it's a few shows in Colorado next week. Johnson and Wales, Colorado Mountain College, and if you want to see me in a sorority house, I have Colorado Boulder.
Now, with the Ivy League, people would stereotype it as, oh, they're a bunch of smart kids, but I'm sure that they had the same crowd as going to like University of Colorado.
Yeah, I mean, they still have senses of humor. I mean, it just kind of depends who the students are that show up to the show. I mean, every school has, their own general vibe, but you just hope you get some playful or nutty students in the audience, and you can just have fun with them.
Mm-hmm. Now, before we get into some of the picks for Night of Champions, where can our listeners kind of follow you and learn more about you at?
At Evan Wecksell on Twitter. If you cannot spell my name, just go to funnyevan.com, and all the social media stuff is from there. Beckett is beckettsage.com. That's his page.
And then you've also got an album on iTunes as well, right?
Yeah, iTunes. There's an album, LOL. That's like a full-length album. And then I just remembered I went on iTunes and looked myself up. And like a year or two ago, I put up 3 old songs called Old Love Songs. And they're just like demented comedy songs where it's my relationship with a Siamese twin is one song, with a midget's another song, and I think with a homeless guy. So that's where I was when I started my comedy career. But
awesome.
LOL probably is the more polished work.
And that stands for Laugh Out Loud, right? Or is there a different name behind that?
If there is, I can't come up with it right now. So.
All right. So you do watch a lot of wrestling. Did you grow up watching wrestling?
Yeah, the story I like to tell is like for my bar mitzvah, I had a centerpiece at each table, and usually I'm from New York, so there was like a New York sports team on each table. But centerpiece at my table was like this big plastic Hulk Hogan coin bank, which makes it even more stereotypically Jewish, but whatever. Hulk Hogan was my centerpiece, and like the Knicks and the Jets were everywhere else. So, but yeah, since the 80s, and I had like Coliseum home video VHSs. And I, have the network today.
Well, we are going to move into our prediction picks. We're just going to run down through each match, and maybe you can give your thoughts on it and
Sure.
who you think's going to win. Jacob and I and our significant others actually we do a little prediction championship, and
Cool.
so I'm the reigning champ. Jacob, he tries,
never
but
won.
he falls short every time. So
We actually have a belt that the winner gets, and his side of the family basically
Owns
my
it.
side
We'll
has
just say
never
owns
took
it.
the belt home. It's been at his house since Mania, so it's kind of sad.
Oh, no way. That's awesome.
So we're just going to go in just the order we've got it here. Who knows how it'll turn out come the actual pay-per-view. But what do you think of Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins?
Well, given they gave the match away for free, clean, on Monday, I probably would go with Rollins just because I think, internet people probably want to see Roman Reigns lose once. So, it doesn't have to be a straight path to the top.
And I think I'm going to agree with that. I'm going to go Rollins. I think just to maybe even get some notoriety built for his Money in the Bank, being the Money in the Bank guy, and getting a push there. What do you think,
Yeah.
Jacob?
I agree 100% with Evan. If you have Reigns winning cleanly on Raw, how can you go do it again and keep Seth at a high level? So I'm going to go with Seth on the win. He's not going to win cleanly though. He's going to
Yeah,
cheat.
let's have him like hit him with a briefcase or something, or some like mildly racist remarks that he gets fined. It's like the NFL. He'll say something bad, he'll get fined $11,000.
Now, what's your take on Chris Jericho and Randy Orton?
He's pretty much gone after Jericho's on tour after this. I would just go easy and just say Orton clean. It'll probably be a good match. I'm sure it'll be entertaining.
I'm gonna go Orton with you as well, just for the fact that Jericho's supposed to be rumored to be gone for a while, and why have him win and then ride off until his time's done? So
Yeah, I agree. He'll play the injury angle and he'll act like he's hurt. He'll disappear. Orton becomes the Viper again, and all's well with the world.
Yeah, I know, because he hasn't really won. It feels like he hasn't won since like. I know he wants Orton to win. He hasn't won in like 4 months, so it's kind of crazy.
all right, so now we'll probably maybe all be one-sided again on this one. Do you what's your thoughts on Mark Henry and Rusev?
Man, I'd love to see Mark Henry take him down. I feel like they're just going to keep building Rusev until WrestleMania, and then Cena will beat him again. So, just like he did to Bray. So, I don't know. I guess Rusev, again, but it would, I liked where they were going with it. It's kind of tough to put them at the end of Raw and carry it, but,
I'm going to go Rusev as well. They're just, setting him up to continue to build, and then I don't, know where he's going to go from here. You just keep on having him win, and then eventually you've got to have somebody that's going to be a challenge eventually. So, Jacob, what's your thoughts?
I was hoping he would build it up until Kurt Angle would come in October and then take him out, but I doubt that's going to happen. So I'm going to go with Rusev. I have no idea where they're going to take him. I don't think they necessarily do. It's not a bad thing, but it's not a good thing. So I'm just going to go with Rusev.
They should just bring back all American and Russian superstars of like the past 20 years and have them in like a Survivor Series match. Like one side you got Swagger, Mark Henry,
Hacksaw, Jim Duggan.
Jim Duggan. The other side you got like Nikolai Volkov and Vladimir Kozlov and
the Iron Sheik and stuff. And
that's the best part. The best part is Rusev looks the farthest thing from Russian, but it's Bulgaria. It's like right next door.
Now, moving into the championship matches, the first one we've got the Usos, and we've actually got them going up against the Dust Brothers.
I would have liked Usos to still be hurt on Raw this week, but they seem to be better. So maybe they're not going to be so swift to give them the belts. So I think I just want to see it be a match on the level of what Harper and Rowan did with the Usos, because those matches were dope. And I guess my heart says, the Dust Brothers. My mind says the Usos.
Okay, well, I'm going to go with the Usos. I think that eventually we're going to see Cody Rhodes and Goldust go at each other. And, maybe it could be something where they can't beat the Usos and they end up going against each other then. But sure. I thought eventually they were going to drop it to the Wyatts, but it seems like they've almost moved away from that a little bit. So be curious to see, but I'm going to go with the Usos.
So, Evan, does that mean you're going with the Usos? Because you gave us two kind of answers there.
I'll go with the Usos.
Okay. I just want to double check. I'm going to go with the Dust Brothers. I think that they've kind of abandoned the ship with the Usos. Like you said, the Wyatt family and the Usos, they could still go, and every match would have been just building better and better. But for some reason, they kind of departed with that. I think you give it to the Dust Brothers, let them go kind of towards to WrestleMania, the run in January, and then break it up, have them lose, have them fight at Mania. That's kind of where I think they're going with it.
Yeah.
And see, this is why Jacob never wins. He every single week or every single month picks against the Usos. I think that's his goal every month.
I literally have, I think, now that I think about it.
And now we have the Divas Championship on the line. We have AJ Lee, we have Nikki, and Paige all going at a triple threat match. Who do you think will be coming out ahead on this?
I'm trying to come up with a name for someone that's a fan of Paige, so I came up with Pager, and I'm a full on Pager, even though it's a '90s reference. But I will vote Paige against the world. So I'm all Paige all the time. So I'm going with her, unless Stephanie McMahon somehow aligns Nikki to get the belt or something. But I don't see it. I feel like just Paige is so good. Her moves are so good. She has like 3 great finishers. And she's got her whole career ahead of her.
And now, see, you are spot on every pick so far, and I'm gonna go with Paige as well. I think that the Bellas Brie will probably cost Nikki something, maybe the actual title, but something will happen there. And right. I think that the way they're going with Paige kind of sticking in AJ's face, I don't see them going away from that. What do you think,
right.
Jacob?
I'm 100% a Pager too, by the way. I think worst case scenario would be giving Nikki the belt, not because of who she is as a character, but storyline. The Bellas haven't really had that great of a story. It's been a soap opera almost. So I wanted Paige to keep the young champion, keep the AJ Lee tension going. They can. It has legs. It can go a long ways. So let's at least keep it with Paige for a little bit longer.
Now, Jacob, he's more of a Ziggler guy than I would say a Pager.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Our next pick would be Ziggler and The Miz going at it. Do you think Ziggler will hold on to the belt?
I do, and it makes me worry that this is where Miz and Ziggler, like, I don't know if either of them may end up in the main event scene down the road. I feel like you could nuzzle them at this level for like 6 months. I have a personal, affinity for Miz because we're both from the same fraternity. So shout out to Theta Chi, based in Indiana. I'm Ziggler. Ziggler's the guy. You just got to keep getting him noticed, and hope better things will happen.
So after you throw the shout out, then you vote the other way.
Yeah, I totally turned on him because even though I'm in Hollywood now, I still turn on the Miz.
Well,
Hollywood.
I'm gonna go the Miz then. I'm just gonna, for the support of the fraternity, yes. I'm gonna go with the Miz, and just for the fact that maybe they'll see the popularity of the Ziggler's going, and this is probably wishful thinking, that maybe they'll try to use him in some main events down the road.
Mm-hmm. I'm a huge Ziggler guy. I think what's going to happen with this is Ziggler's going to win. You got Ziggler Dow or whatever his name is and all that going on. I think Ziggler wins, and then the rumors of the Bray Wyatt Ziggler angle only make sense to me if he's still the champ. I don't know why Bray would focus on Ziggler, and then you have the whole angle with Bad News Barrett returning. So Ziggler's going to win, 100%. It's said, done.
Now, one that may be a little bit challenging, the United States Championship. We have Sheamus and Cesaro. What's your thoughts on that?
I love that it's a Swiss guy against an Irish guy for the U.S. title. And I feel like it would only make sense if towards the climax of this match, they both stop punching each other, and then they both turn to the title, and then they both turn on the title and just start beating the shit out of the title. I don't know if I can poop out of the title. They turn on the U.S. title because they're both better than that. If I did have to pick a winner, I would just keep it on Sheamus just to torment Sheamus.
Okay, I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go Cesaro. I'm going with Cesaro just for the fact that maybe the WWE needs to put a belt on him eventually, and I think this would be a start. Not that this is any prestigious moment for either one of them, I think, by winning.
I agree. Sheamus is going to win. It's kind of almost a slap in the face in both of them, because you talk about a previous World Heavyweight and WWE champion. Cesaro had such a big moment at the WrestleMania, and then they're like, forget about it. We don't need him to be a big guy. So I agree with you. I think they both should bro kick it. And you just punt it.
Neutralize the title.
It goes vacant, and then they take it to NXT. So
Now, the main event is a rematch from last month, and this is another tough pick, I think. You've got Brock Lesnar, the champ, coming in, the rematch against John Cena. Are you going to go with the champ on this?
It's harder than it seems. I feel like it's harder than it seems. I would probably go with Lesnar because I feel like they, again, want to give more validity to Lesnar beating The Undertaker at WrestleMania. You know, you only do that unless big plans. While he did a great display at SummerSlam, I just say you keep riding the Lesnar train. You've got him re-signed up, and you just keep paying the man to show up when he needs to show up.
Yeah, and I think I'm gonna go Lesnar as well. I just don't understand how you can have such a dominant match, and then the very next match that they have together, almost be complete opposite, or Superman coming out and getting the victory. So I think they're going to continue to build Lesnar as this unstoppable force until they get to WrestleMania.
Lesnar's going to win. The real question is Lesnar going to do 32 German suplexes this time, or is he going to do 16 F5s to John Cena? That's what I want to know. And the other one is John Cena going to go heel, because they've been flirting with it for so long. And then Paul Heyman on Raw even said you can be a Paul Heyman guy, and he got a pop from the crowd. Is this finally when he turns? But he won't. They'll keep him the same. They'll wait the moment, and Lesnar's just going to win.
And I think Heyman's right. The only way Cena wins is if they do turn him, but I just, again, don't see that happening. Yeah.
Well, Evan, we appreciate you being on the show. We had a great time, and we look forward to seeing some more YouTube videos, and hopefully you'll be swinging by in Indiana here soon, where we can even come and check out your show.
Sure, definitely. I'll let you guys know when I'm in the area. Almost had one in Indiana, but next time. And Becca and I have some more plans in the future, so you'll be seeing us again.
All right. Awesome. Yeah. So make sure you check out funnyevan.com. Go to iTunes, buy the LOL, the Untitled, basically. He doesn't have a title for it besides LOL. And that album, and check it out. Check him out on Twitter, guys.
That is the title. What are you talking about?
He doesn't know what the LOL stands for. It's just LOL. So. I know that's horrible promotion. I'm sorry, Evan.
Yeah.
Coming on the show again.
Man.
I know.
You've created curiosity among the viewers.
Well, you're welcome back anytime, and we'll definitely have you on the show again.
You got it. Thanks so much, guys.
Yeah, I like how you said that it didn't have a title, but then LOL is the title. We'll go back to that right off the bat.
Yep, that was stupid, and he'll never come on the show ever again.
But he seemed a super nice guy, and I would, like I said, I've seen his videos, and I would really like to see him in person.
Yeah, so hopefully he'll be in Indiana somewhere where we could travel and go see him sometime.
Now, I figured it'd only be fair to put you on the spot, Jacob, and give you a song to try to guess here. And this is going to be easy for you. You've heard this theme before in person, so you should have no problem getting this one. All right, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go.
Oh my gosh, hold on. Holy crap, dude. Is this the Bushwhackers?
Oh, no way, you got it.
Yeah! I'm the champ. That was holy crap, dude.
That is awesome, because I was thinking all day today. I was like, all right, we got these songs for them. I need a song that's just gonna stomp Jacob. And sure enough, you were on it.
Next week, bring it on. I'm every week, man. All right. So pumped I got that right.
All right. Well, we'll finish out the rest of our podcast, starting with our normal What to Watch on the WWE Network. We did have some new Monday Night War episode on. Also some countdown episodes. From last week, actually, they had an extra one, Top 10 Big Guys. and this week is the top 10 Battle Royal moments. Haven't got to. Actually, I started watching the top 10 big guys, but I haven't got to see any of the other stuff. I'm kind of excited to watch that this weekend, though.
Yeah, the WWE Network is providing a ton. I mean, a ton of material for you to watch. It's really worth the $9.99 they offer it for. I have not seen anything yet. I'm kind of behind on the network. I'm really excited for the Heart of War. That's a great topic. I wonder where you go to next, because if they're trying to stay in this time frame, that's obviously the Montreal Screwjob. You think Sting will come up here eventually? Sting needs to come before Goldberg, because Sting, obviously, his feud with Hogan was before Goldberg came around. Who's the top big guy in your I guess
It's
mind?
got to be Andre the Giant, just for going undefeated as long as he did. So I would have to go with that.
Would the Giant from WCW, would that be number 2, because he won the championship on his first match against Hulk Hogan?
I, w- I would have to. Yeah, I would have to go that way as well. And I think that they were just trying to get that angle, get that comparison right off the bat. Now, in the WWE shop, we did have some new items. They came out with new iPhone cases, which the iPhone 6 came out today, and these are iPhone 5 and 5S, so they're a little behind, but needless to say, you can pick up an iPhone case. They also have a new t-shirt for your boy, Jacob, for Ziggler. Are you going to be picking up this Ziggler shirt?
Oh man, if it wasn't for Heroes and Legends 4 and spending my money getting my photo with Al Snow, I would have bought me the brand new Ziggler t-shirt. Do you like the t-shirt? It's kind of different from his usual t-shirts.
Yeah, it makes me want to puke. This looks like somebody from LA Tattoo Show is designing this. I mean, it's not pink, it's not cyan, it's not magenta, it's not Ziggler. So I don't know. It
Well,
almost
you
looks
know
an
what?
AJ
It's too
Lee.
bad that he's too good, is what it basically says on it. So.
Yeah. Well, it's too bad that the thing's too ugly, and that's the real reason why you're not buying it. You're gonna throw Catherine under the bus here instead of just coming out and saying that I don't want it because it's not very good looking.
Well, don't worry, Jonathan. When you go back to school, they have new lunch containers for you. So you can take one of those Dolph Ziggler lunch containers on there, or a John Cena in your case. So.
We did have a couple birthdays. We're gonna go old school birthdays. On the 17th, we had Jim Cornette's 53rd birthday, and as well as coming up on Saturday, the 20th, Arn Anderson turned 56. So not figure four, but Four Horsemen member there.
Happy birthday to them. We have on our anniversary week on September 17th, 1981, Ric Flair defeated the American Dream Dusty Rhodes in Kansas City, Missouri to win the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. And it was Ric Flair's first World Heavyweight Singles title victory, which how many does he have, Jonathan?
How about 18? Am I 18?
Nope.
16. All right, second guess. So
yeah,
nobody will know it when John Cena passes and
oh my gosh,
goes to 20. He's going to hit 20 just
such
for you,
a
Jacob.
disgrace.
Now we've been doing if you've listened to our recent episodes, the Elimination Challenge on ESPN. Jacob had another pick correct, so he stays 2-0, and I'm 1-1. I finally got on the board. Who you got this week, Jacob? Are you going to pick against the Wimpy Giants again? I know that's the only reason why you went with the Cardinals last week. Who you got this week?
Holy crap! I have to pull that up. So why don't you tell me who you have this week?
All right, since you're not prepared, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to go. And the reason why is you're waiting to hear who I pick. I'm going with the Saints. They're going up against the Vikings. The Vikings and their running back debacle that they've got going on. They're playing at the Saints as well. Lock of the century. There's no way the Vikings are going to beat the Saints this week.
Right now I picked actually the New England Patriots to beat the Raiders. So that's not a safe pick because the Patriots are 1-1. So that I'm going out of my way here and risking a lot with this to stay undefeated, obviously.
All right. Well, hopefully I'll be able to catch up this week. Are you ready for your challenge? Let's go right into the very ending. The challenge. Do you have that pulled up? Or do I need to go? Do I need to go first again?
I have a topic in mind. It just came to me. So I'm gonna put. Well, actually, you're gonna put 30 seconds. Here we go.
Go ahead.
So on Twitter, I do a lot of the Twitter stuff. There's so many women that think that Roman Reigns is the most attractive guy. It's Roman Reigns this. Look at me, I'm Roman Reigns. I'm lifting weights. Come on. There's other guys that are good looking in the WWE. I mean, look at Damian Sandow. I mean, Great Khali is an attractive guy. Why don't we have videos of him walking like a penguin? And those are blasted everywhere. I mean, come on. Pick someone else besides Roman Reigns and John Cena, ladies.
The Great Khali, huh?
I mean, he made the cuts for some reason. It's because he's the model. Come on.
All right, Jacob. My 30 seconds, you're going to like this. I was at Victoria's Secret the other day, and I'm looking at lingerie, some unmentionables. I'm not going to go into why I'm looking at these things, but I have decided that what a waste of money. Let me tell you, you're going to find out here soon. You're getting married soon. The prices that they sell this, I mean, $70, $80, what a bunch of crap for something that's going to just, basically, as a guy, you want it on the floor anyways. So, I mean, what a joke. It ticks me off. I'm never going in there again. Forget it.
Parental advisory on this.
I don't care how it looks. Waste of money. $80, come on now.
You can't put a price tag on love, Jonathan. You just got to remember that.
Whatever.
You know, I'm going to love my wife when I get married here, and it's about 24 days, and that stuff, I'm willing to put the money in for that. I'm sorry, Jonathan.
Whatever.
I'm a man of love, and the man of love will pay for his wife to be happy.
And I'm not going to go anywhere but $80 sitting on the floor is what you're hoping for.
Yeah, you know what? It's a PE teacher, and the money I make, I can afford it. Thanks for listening to another production of HWT Network. Please make sure you listen to all of our upcoming events. On Thursdays, we have our HWT podcast, and on Fridays, we have our Reality of Wrestling report. You can find us on Twitter at HWT Podcast, on Facebook at HWT Podcast, and YouTube/HWT Podcast. Please feel free to comment, send us messages, email us at Harrell, HARRELL, Wrestling Talk @outlook.com. Last advice we will give you before we leave: if your girlfriend, wife, boyfriend, or husband says you watch too much wrestling, tell them that's impossible. Till next time, Wrestling World, keep listening and keep watching.